Hey guys, welcome to ChallengeForex, and in this video I'm going to go over the week ahead, which is the week commencing 27th of May 2024, and have a look at my possible trade setups for this week. We are going to look at 28 pairs plus gold in this review to find out possible setups that I'm going to take during this week. So stick around after the intro and let's get stuck into it. Please note that this is not financial advice. I'm just showing you the charts that I'm going to be looking at for trades this week and trades that I will be taking, but I'm not recommending that you take these trades as well. I think maybe you should just do your own analysis and decide for yourself which trades you're going to take for this week. So let's get started. So I'm using MT5 to do my trade analysis. I'm keeping it simple. I'm looking at the daily charts and I'm going to look at support and resistance levels and places where the market has maybe broken through a previous level or where something is coming back to retouch an existing level. So let's begin with the first pair, which is the Aussie CAD, and I can see at this point we have a high that has actually been broken recently. So this goes back to December 2023. This high has just been broken. We can see here a big push up and then a pullback to this level. So what I would be looking at here is a continuation for a long trade. So I'm going to place my green lines on the chart where I think the zone is going to be. And we're already in this zone right now, so I am actually looking for a bullish candle now. I would like something like a hammer candle or maybe an outside bar that closes above this zone, and preferably even closing above this red candle here. So that will be my first look for this week. Possibly could be happening as early as Monday. Next we have the Aussie Swiss, and I don't really see anything on this chart that is very interesting for this week. Next we're looking at the Aussie Japanese Yen, and again nothing for this one. Now we've got the Aussie New Zealand, and we can see here that we've been on an uptrend for quite a while, for several months, and it looks like it's now forming a downtrend. I'm not going to draw like channels or arrows like some people will draw trend lines on the chart, and we would say once it breaks through this trend line we'll be looking at taking a trade, but I'm doing really simple, just putting support and resistance lines on. So what I'm looking at is my zone for a retracement to come back and then take a short. So put my red arrow on here. We're looking at the bottom of these candles, and to make the zone we're looking at the bottom of the candle wicks as well as the body. So this is my zone. We're looking now for over the next couple of days a trade to come back, candles to come back into this zone and go from a green to a red candle again, and some sort of a chart pattern, like an outside bar would be ideal, or even a shooting star. Okay, next we have the Aussie dollar, and we are actually in a zone right now for this one. And we can see here, we put the lines on the chart. And just to make it simple, I'm using green lines for buy and red lines for sell to create my zones. And now in here we can see that we've just broken below this zone, but it could be an extended zone. Like maybe this zone is a little bit wider perhaps, or maybe the zone should have been more here. So at the moment it's right in this zone. I'm not sure if it's going to be a continuation long, but I would be looking at possibly something close above the zone for a buy, and If it closes below the zone, then I will be waiting for this one to come back and do a retest later on. Next is the CAD Swiss, and again we're sort of at this zone right now. I'm not going to put anything down for a trade here, but I don't really think that I should be looking at selling at this point. So I'm just going to leave this one blank for now and look at another trade. Look at the next pair. Next one is CAD and Japanese yen, and we can see this one is on an upward trend, but it's not sort of in any zone at the moment, like we're sort of right in the middle, so let's skip that one. Swiss and Japanese yen is the same. Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie, it looks like this was a massive W, like double bottom. If we look at sort of this area here, we've got a bottom here, and this could actually be a head and shoulders as well. We're looking at here being one shoulder and here being another shoulder, but it looks like a break of structure here as well. So I'm going to be looking for a possible long around this area. Just to get my zone correct, I'm thinking probably around here is my zone. It looks like just at the end of Friday this week it has actually touched the zone, but I'm not sure just yet as well. Maybe we're wanting this to go up a few days and then come back and retest before we actually take it long. So if we're taking a long here, maybe in the next day or two, Monday or Tuesday, this might be a bit of an aggressive entry, but if so, I would be putting my stop below the swing low, which is around 150 pips, and I would be aiming for about 2 to 1, so 300 pip take profit. Okay, next one we have the Euro CAD, and looks like we're currently in a bit of an uptrend at the moment. I'm not sure if this is going to work as a zone. I can see we've actually had multiple touches in this area, so I think we do have a zone here for a buy. So what I would be looking at is for the price to come back and retest this one, give us some sort of a candlestick pattern. A bullish candle would be ideal, and then look for a long from here. Next one we have the Euro Swiss, and possibly the same sort of a setup on this one. If we mark our zone, we will be looking at somewhere around this area for our zone. I'm thinking maybe even perhaps this area for the zone, so we would want to see a pullback to this area and then a continuation trade long. The pound, so the Euro pound, we're looking like we are hitting a triple bottom at the moment. So we've got 1, 2, 3 touches right now. I would expecting possibly for a long here, but I'm not going to touch this one for now. Let's wait and see how this plays out. Euro yen, and again this one with the other yen pairs is sort of in the middle of a range. It's not like any of the extremes, so let's skip that one for now. Euro New Zealand, and looks like we could be looking at a possible double bottom here. So if that's the case, we would be looking at maybe taking this one long. But if we get a pullback into this zone and then a maybe a green candle, sort of kind of like this one, a bullish candle, some sort of a pattern like a hammer or an outside bar, something that looks like a positive move to the up, and that could be a move for us there. Looking at the euro dollar, and we are kind of in an area right now that's had multiple touches, and we're sort of right in the middle of this zone, so I'm not sure at this point if we should be looking at taking this long. I'm going to skip that one for now. Pound Aussie, looks like it has just made a big move in the last couple of days. We've seen a break of structure. At this point, it was a support level that has had multiple touches, and it looks like it's actually moved away from that level now, so I'm not going to look for any trades on that one at the moment. Let's see, Pound Canadian, we have a bit of a trend here, a long trend, but I don't see anything close by that we could actually use. Possibly this area here, if it comes back and retests this line, we might be able to look for a retracement. We can see here that this zone has actually been touched 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3 times at this point and broken through, so I'm thinking it may come back and use this line again as a support level to take a long bounce. We have the Pound Swiss, and this one is kind of the same as the last one. We can put a zone here, but we'll be looking at a retracement to this zone and then taking long if we have a nice little candlestick pattern. Pound Yen, same as the other yen pairs, it's kind of in the range, but this one is actually getting close to the top of this area that has come back before and retested, so we could actually see a bounce at this point, and then looking for a short, but I'm not going to touch this one for now. Pound New Zealand, and sort of in the middle of a range at the moment. You can see here there was a double bottom here, sort of like a test of this area again, and then bounced up, but then it's sort of hanging in the middle of that range at the moment. So let's skip that one for now. Next one we're looking at is the Pound Dollar, and let's see where we have ranges for this one. We have a couple of major support and resistance areas that we're looking at here, and so we sort of have two ranges, like a high and a low range, and at the moment we are trading in between these, so I'm not really going to look for anything at this point. Let's just delete these lines for now, and we'll come back at a later date and maybe look for something else, maybe later in the week or maybe next week. New Zealand CAD is the next one, and it looks like we are actually in an area right now. Hard to decide which way we should be looking. If we get a break of this area here over the next few days, like up, maybe a few days up, and then a retracement back to this zone, then I'm thinking that possibly we might have a trade set up, but at the moment, because it is right in that zone now, I'm going to wait and see if it actually breaks through this level, and then we're looking at trading up and then back down and retest and then take a long. So possibly happen this week, but maybe not. New Zealand Swiss is the next one, and we're looking at a high that we don't have really much to the left hand side. If we look at the weekly chart, we can see that we've just sort of on a trend upwards. It's breaking through here, and I think I'm going to leave that one for now. New Zealand yen is the same as the other yen pairs. It's sort of like, but we had this big news candle here which has made a new high, but we're sort of right at the peak of that high level right now, and it has actually retested once already. So I'm not sure if this is going to break through, and if so, we would look for a retracement back to that zone and take it long. New Zealand dollar is, let's see, kind of in between two ranges, so skip that one for now. Canadian dollar is also in between, two different areas. US Swiss, again in between two zones. High up here, which looks like it would actually be a good area for a possible bounce. If we were to hit this area, I'm thinking of maybe a short. It kind of looks like it's going that way because we've actually had multiple bounces of this zone here and going long now, and it's sort of in between zones. Next one is the US and Japanese yen. It's kind of right in the middle of the zones, so skip that one for now. And lastly, we're looking at gold, and with gold we have two zones here that we are looking at, two areas, and as you can see now it's kind of in between both of these zones. So if we're going to take a short trade, I would be looking at possibly coming into this area, maybe breaking through this zone at the support level here and coming back and doing a retest and then taking it short, or this could actually turn around and bounce and go long. So I'm going to leave that one for now. So that is my weekly forecast for the week commencing the 27th of May, and we'll do a review after the end of the week and see how these trades actually look out, if we had any profiting trades or any losing trades, and we'll then look at setups for the following week.